I'm Liz Thompson, the food blogger behind I Heart Vegetables. It's a blog dedicated to easy, healthy vegetarian recipes. I started blogging back in 2010. I went vegan for 6 months, and so I wanted to learn how to cook vegan recipes, how to eat a little bit healthier, and so I figured a blog would be a good way to kind of keep track of what I liked and what I didn't like, and just learn a lot of recipes along the way. After 6 months, I decided that veganism was not for me, but I stuck with vegetarian cooking, and I really learned a lot about how different ingredients work together, how to add flavor using healthier things like herbs and spices, and it really just taught me a lot about the cooking process. Before I went vegan, I really didn't know how to cook. Most of what I ate in college came from a box. I ate a lot of processed food, a lot of pizza, a lot of pasta, and pretty much everything that I made wasn't really from a recipe. I kind of just threw a few things together and hoped that it tasted good. Once I started my food blog, I started exploring more different ingredients, things that I hadn't eaten before. I used to be a really picky eater and I didn't like trying new things. But part of going vegan really forced me to try things that I hadn't tried before. And I realized that I really love vegetables. I love the way they taste, they have so much flavor, and eating really healthy, fresh food can taste just as good as the food that I was eating before. I don't think I had ever eaten things like butternut squash or eggplant before I went vegan. I didn't really eat a lot of exotic foods growing up, and so it wasn't until I started learning how to cook that I realized that there was a whole world of vegetables and ingredients that I'd never really tried before. Once I started creating recipes, I saw that there was a need for people to learn how to cook these ingredients that maybe they weren't super familiar with in a really easy way. So everything I make is pretty simple, things that you can make without having a huge kitchen or having to buy a lot of new ingredients, but it can teach you how to make that one thing that maybe you haven't tried before in a really healthy and simple way. Social media has changed a lot since I started blogging. When I first launched I Heart Vegetables back in 2010, there was no Instagram, there was no Pinterest, there were no Facebook pages, so it's been a learning experience along the way, but it's been such a great way to connect with people outside of the blog. Years ago, really the only way for people to connect were to leave comments, and now they can follow along on Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest, and there's just so many more ways that people can connect. I think my faith has played an important part, more behind the scenes, on the social media aspect of things. It's no surprise that I think social media can cause people to feel like they need to compare or measure up, and so I just try to be really authentic and genuine in how I show up. I try to show pictures behind the scenes of my really messy kitchen and just show that things aren't always perfect all the time, and that's totally fine. I think I personally have been influenced in the past around different people's eating styles and preferences and feeling like I need to do those things too, but trying to use social media as a reminder that every person kind of has their own journey and has to figure it out for themselves, and so just being aware that what you see when you're scrolling through Instagram isn't the whole picture. If you're interested in starting your own food blog, I think the best advice I can give you is to just get started. When I go back and look from posts that I did 6 or 7 years ago, they don't look like it does now, and that's totally fine. So just starting where you are, trying out some new recipes, taking pictures along the way. There's a lot more resources now than there were years and years ago, so I think there's tons of great resources online that can help you get started, but the main thing is to just jump in and give it a shot. Right now I'm working on my first cookbook, which should come out in 2018, and it's been a really fun journey. It's been an interesting test of creativity, just thinking through, there's going to be literally over 100 recipes, and they're all healthy, easy vegetarian recipes. And so my goal is to help people find new ways to eat healthy food. They're not going to be complicated recipes. It's just really simple things that when you come home from work on a Tuesday and you're hungry and you don't want to get takeout, you can make it with what you have in your pantry. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at iHeartVeggies or Facebook at iHeartVegetables.